You won't believe what just happened. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett absolutely torched Elon Musk and Donald Trump on live TV. No holding back, no survivors. Trump looked like he didn't even know where he was, and Musk, still off in La La Land, pushing some dead-on-arrival nonsense. Crockett called out all the BS and dropped a reality check so sharp, it'll have you rethinking every one of those fanboy posts. And just wait until you hear her reaction to Musk's bizarre idea about sending condoms to Gaza. Yeah, you heard that right. Jasmine Crockett stood on live TV like she was wielding a verbal flamethrower. And guess who found themselves in the line of fire? America's two favorite Bond villains, Elon Musk and Donald J. Trump. But this wasn't just some quick gotcha moment. This was a full-blown demolition. Crockett didn't just bring receipts. She came with the Costco-sized binder, color-coded, highlighted, and served it up with a generous side of sass. Let's start with the human Tesla fire hazard himself, Elon Musk.
We've heard a lot about the fact that Democrats have been talking about Elon Musk. And let me give you a news alert. We're not gonna stop talking about him. We're gonna keep talking about him until he is out of here. Now, if he wants to be elected or appointed and confirmed to something, then so be it. But as of right now, we have somebody that for whatever reason, I don't know if y'all just trying to play in our face because you think we're stupid.
The guy who somehow convinced millions he's a genius, even though his cars have a habit of bursting into flames or piloting themselves straight into parked ambulances. Elon waltzed into this mess like he was about to save humanity. But Crockett was quick to remind everyone, this man can't even save Twitter. Sorry, X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Now mostly known as the place your Uncle Rage posts from at 3 a.m. Oh, and let's not forget Musk's favorite side hustle, pumping Dogecoin like it's some miracle cure. He jumped on TV, hyping Doge like it was the future of finance. Flash forward, and Doge holders are still sitting around, waiting for that mythical to-the-moon moment, while Elon's out shopping for his next golden bathtub. Crockett didn't even have to break a sweat. She just called it what it's always been, a glorified inside joke turned stock manipulation playground. But wait, it actually gets dumber. Elon, with the confidence of a guy who just skimmed a conspiracy meme and decided it was gospel, accused President Biden and the Democrats of using your tax dollars to send, get this, condoms to Gaza. Yep, in the middle of a full-blown humanitarian crisis, Musk decided the real scandal wasn't the devastation, the suffering, or the chaos. It was Biden, allegedly running some secret Trojan delivery service across borders, like a government-funded Cupid on a mission. Naturally, there were no facts, no evidence, no documents, just Elon firing off tweets like a recently divorced dad who thinks he cracked the Da Vinci Code after 2 IPAs. Crockett didn't even flinch. She laid it out plain. If you genuinely believe the Democrats sat around saying, you know what Gaza really needs? Less food, less medicine, more condoms? Then congrats. You might be eligible for an honorary Twitter blue check.
Elon Musk boosted false U.S. aid conspiracy theories to shut down global aid. Now, while he was boosting those lies about U.S. aid, and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, somehow, the only money that didn't stop was the money to him and his organization. Now, I don't know how you can have him be the watchdog as well as the guy that is literally living off of the government. If we want to talk about government welfare, it looks like Elon Musk, because it's my understanding that just on yesterday, a new contract was approved for approximately $300 million for Elon Musk.
If you're enjoying this ride, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because honestly, Elon's nonsense almost starts to look cute once you shift your focus to the human Cheeto Puff himself, Donald J. Trump.
And as I traveled, I heard from so many people that just felt like government was broken. And so here it was, we kept talking about how we were going to make things better and that we were going to do things better. But most people said the system is already failed. I mean, so why are we going to try to fix something that we know has never worked for us? And so I think that is why they were curious about this guy who decided he wanted to take a sledgehammer to everything in our systems. I think that people are waking up and saying, well, wait a minute now, you can't get rid of the entire foundation. We at least need a foundation so that we can have something to build upon.
Now, Jasmine Crockett didn't even have to dig deep for this one. Trump is basically a one-man meme factory at this point, spitting out endless content for late-night monologues, SNL cold opens, and nationwide group therapy sessions. The man practically writes the roast for you. He showed up looking like he got lost on the way to a Mar-a-Lago tea time and just decided to hijack a press conference instead. Hair-defying physics, suit-defying tailoring, and logic nowhere in sight. But Crockett wasn't just there to throw shade. She brought the whole eclipse. She didn't roast him, she slow-cooked him, Southern style, with a glaze of receipts and a sprinkle of bless your heart. By the time she was done, Trump looked like he was trying to remember if he'd left the oven on, or maybe it was just the burn setting in. And then, the cherry on top, Trump, the self-proclaimed very stable genius, decided to flex his business skills. You know, the same legendary acumen that gave us Trump Steaks, Trump University, and Trump Vodka? 3 ventures that failed faster than he can mispronounce anonymous. Crockett, cool as ever, reminded everyone that this is a man who managed to bankrupt a casino. A casino, people. That's the one business where customers literally walk in and hand you their money, and somehow he still walked out with empty pockets. That's not just failure, that's art. That's like drowning in a kiddie pool. That's like losing a race while running unopposed. And Trump University? Don't even get started. It was such a blatant scam, it made the plot of Ocean's 11 look like an after-school special. And yet, here he is, still strutting around like he invented capitalism itself. Honestly, it's almost impressive how he's turned total lack of self-awareness into his most successful brand. If there were an Olympic sport for unearned confidence, he'd be taking home gold every time. And let's not forget Trump Vodka, a drink so aggressively bad it should have come with a Surgeon General's warning and a chaser of regret. Imagine failing in the alcohol industry, a market that practically sells itself. But somehow, Trump managed to turn even booze into a branding disaster. And this is the same guy who wants us to trust him with, well, everything. Foreign policy, healthcare, infrastructure. He couldn't even win over people looking for a cheap buzz.
We have elected officials that are consistently giving up their constitutional authority, whether we're talking about tariffs, whether we're talking about taxes, or whether we're even talking about our budget as a whole. We are a separate, co-equal branch of government and do right by the people that sent us here, instead of allowing somebody who literally sold so many people just a bag of goods.
Honestly, if Trump's business ventures were a reality show, it'd be called Failing Forward, where the contestants lose big, walk away empty-handed, and somehow still get invited back for another season. Just when you think he's hit rock bottom, he shows up with a shovel and a business plan for a hole-digging app. But this wasn't just about throwing shade. Crockett brought the receipts. She called out Musk's little side hobby of union busting, like it was just another billionaire quirky phase. You know, right alongside space tourism and midlife crisis flamethrowers. Here's a guy who claims to be a man of the people while treating his workers like background NPCs in a dystopian sandbox game. And Trump, the self-declared champion of the forgotten man, seems to have completely forgotten the man he was championing. Remember that healthcare plan he promised back in 2016? Any day now, he said. Well, we're 7 years deep, and the only plan anyone's seen is whatever scribbled on the back of a Mar-a-Lago cocktail napkin. Crockett didn't need to yell. She didn't need fireworks or theatrics. She just calmly laid out the receipts, and the truth did the heavy lifting. You could almost hear the sound of MAGA hats being nervously adjusted in the audience, like folks realizing the Kool-Aid may have expired.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Fuck off.
That's it.
It's honestly wild. On one side, you've got Musk, who seems to think he's Tony Stark, but gives off more gas station knockoff action figure energy. And on the other, Trump, who thinks he's George Washington reborn, but couldn't name 3 branches of government if you spotted him 2.5. And yet somehow, these two still manage to get airtime. Not because they're insightful, not because they're effective, but because in the loud, chaotic circus of modern media, their brand of delusion somehow keeps making the cut. At least until someone in the room finally changes the channel. Let's talk about the whole free speech issue again. Elon claims to be defending it, almost like he's some insecure sci-fi hero. But the second anyone criticizes his failing EV self-driving program or points out how he turned Twitter into an alt-right echo chamber, it's time for account suspensions. Free speech for him? Sure. But for everyone else? Not so much. Meanwhile, Trump is still stuck replaying the 2020 election like it's Groundhog Day. Instead of evolving or learning, he just keeps finding new ways to make it even more pathetic. And then there's Crockett, who just sat there, calmly pointing out that the emperor has no clothes. Let's be real, that's not exactly an emperor you want to picture in that state. Then came the best part. Crockett called out the whole dog and pony show, exposing how both of these clowns in their own ways distract the public with flashy stunts while quietly robbing everyone blind. Musk launches a SpaceX rocket, Trump throws a rally, and while everyone's focused on the spectacle, it's business as usual for billionaires. But Crockett flipped the script, pulling attention away from the theatrics and shining a spotlight on the mess behind the curtain. The audience didn't just watch, they felt it. The laughs were real, the gasps were louder, and somewhere backstage you can bet Elon was desperately DMing someone trying to figure out how to distract from this, while Trump probably wondered if he could sue gravity for making him look bad on camera. And the Doge thing? It wasn't even over. Crockett had the audacity and brilliance to point out how Musk turned a meme into a pyramid scheme. Dogecoin went from internet joke to market crash, all while Musk laughed his way to the bank. It was like Silicon Valley snake oil, but with less charm and more power outages. When Crockett started connecting the dots, the fake philanthropy, the manufactured culture wars, the constant shifting of blame to everyone but themselves, it wasn't just a roast, it was a masterclass. She didn't just tear them apart, she exposed how easy it is once you stop pretending they're smarter than they really are. Here's the kicker. Elon and Trump both rely on the same tired playbook. Step 1, break something important. Step 2, blame the nearest progressive. Step 3, tell Twitter it's fine because they're thinking big. Meanwhile, nothing gets fixed, people get hurt, and billionaires get richer. Truly groundbreaking. By the time the segment wrapped, Crockett didn't just roast them, she served them up well done with fries on the side. Musk looked like someone who realized his rocket might not even make it past the parking lot, and Trump looked like he suddenly remembered halfway through a sentence that he doesn't actually know where Ukraine is on a map. And just like that, it was over. Crockett dropped the mic, walked off, and left behind a smoldering crater where Musk and Trump's credibility used to be. The viewers loved it, the billionaires were sweating, and Twitter bots were working overtime. It was a flawless performance, one that kept the audience on the edge of their seats and had the rich guys fumbling for their next move. It was like Crockett took a wrecking ball to their egos and without even trying, demolished their entire public image in one smooth move. Her words cut through the air, sharper than any scandal, leaving Musk and Trump scrambling for a comeback that never came. It was clear, the public had spoken, and they weren't buying what these two were selling. Every point Crockett made hit harder than the last, and by the time she was done, there was nothing left for them but to watch their empire crumble. It wasn't just a mic drop, it was a full-blown annihilation of everything they thought they stood for. While Elon Musk awkwardly types out another cryptic tweet about Dogecoin and stocks, probably trying to distract from his latest yacht purchase, Trump's still out there ranting about elections like an old man who's had one too many glasses of prune juice. Meanwhile, Crockett's over there sipping her tea, knowing she already took down the biggest egos in tech and politics with a single speech. The power? Immeasurable. The delivery? Perfect. And let's be real, Musk and Trump couldn't even handle it. So the next time you see either of them making headlines, just remember, Jasmine Crockett already handled it, and she didn't even break a sweat. So when the noise gets loud, when the headlines spin, and the billionaires start grandstanding like it's open mic night for the absurd, just rewind to that moment. The one where Jasmine Crockett walked in, spoke truth with surgical precision, and left egos in ashes. No theatrics, no distractions, just facts, fire, and a reminder that power doesn't always come from the loudest voice in the room. Sometimes it comes from the one who knows exactly when to drop the mic. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more unapologetic takes, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss when we call out the chaos. Drop a comment, share with a friend, and let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next one.